figure that out.
There's no way.
You can have a little drop. What would you want to wake up to?
This would be nice.
You do rule the corner household.
I want to be reminded every morning. I want to be reminded.
You drive the show here.
Ruling the world.
You got the world. I mean, you have the world.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to wake up to songs like this every single day. This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, Sirius XM Channel 80, and on all your smart speakers. My name's Shay Cornett. He is Jordan Cornett. We're filling in over the next couple of days. Keyshawn, J. Will, Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance, and all guests appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. So we're asking the Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin Nation, which NFL quarterback do you trust in the playoff? At Nick Rice 21 just hit us up on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed and said, I'm trusting the quarterback who's never lost by more than one possession in his career, rallied his team from multiple deficits last postseason, and has beaten more playoff teams this year than any other quarterback, and that would be Patrick Mahomes. Yes.
Now,
that is a pretty obvious answer.
You should find this question offensive then, given your power ranking.
Okay, so here are my power rankings. The top 5 quarterbacks that I trust in the playoffs.
Can we give criteria?
Yes.
Can I set the criteria here, or do you want? Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead. Set the criteria.
No, go ahead.
I'm just going to say it's involving what their team has on both sides of the football, what that player has done this season, and you can dig back into the rear view what they've done in their past that leads you to believe that. But you have to factor in everything that their team possesses at this point that will allow you to gauge how much trust you have with them going into the postseason.
True. Okay, thank you. That was good that you did that. Okay, so the top 5 quarterbacks in the order that I trust them in the playoffs this year. I would do Aaron Rodgers at number 1.
Wow, okay.
I would put Patrick Mahomes at number 2, and I have good reasons why, and you might agree with me. I would put Josh Allen cautiously at number 3.
Wow, never won a postseason game.
I would put Drew Brees at number 4, and I would put Russell Wilson at number 5. Jordan?
Y'all let her put Drew Brees on this.
Yo, your list, and then we'll discuss.
Babe.
Go.
Babe.
Go.
Wow. All right. I'm going to try and pick up the slack here. You lost a little credibility with number 4 on your list. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Aaron Rodgers, number 2. Yeah, I'm going Josh Allen 3-2. I don't care if he's never won in the postseason. I'm living in the right now.
I feel you.
You heard Matt Hasselbeck earlier this week. He said there's no difference between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
I don't think he said there's no difference.
I love both Hasselbeck brothers. I can't go that far, but I got Josh Allen at 3. The GOAT at 4, Tom Brady. And it's because of a myriad of reasons, not just who Tom is and what he can be in the postseason. He's at 4. And I got Russ. Let my man cook. I think he's back on track. I feel really good about what Russell Wilson can do in postseason football. I'm going to have a hard time betting against him. He should hope I bet against him because that means they'll win, given my last few plays. But I got Russell Wilson at 5.
Okay, so if you want to join in on the conversation, give us the quarterback that you trust most in the playoffs. Maybe let's go outside of Mahomes and Rodgers. If you want to throw those 2 in and make a case, go for it. But outside of Mahomes and Rodgers, just for argument's sake, the Dr. Pepper call-in line is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Which quarterback this year do you trust the most in the playoffs? Now, let's start with this gripe, because you looked at me sideways when I put Drew Brees instead of Tom Brady in my top 5. Who beat Tom Brady twice this year? Go on. Who beat Tom Brady twice this year? That would be Drew Brees.
There's 5 teams that have beat him.
In his division, and two of the most.
I think the Saints defense beat him, but go ahead.
No, okay, come on. I'm just saying, who looked better in those 2 games? That would be Drew Brees. So I'm going to put Drew Brees in my top 5. And I am a Tom Brady believer, fan, all of the above. If you heard me earlier, I was beating his drum. But here, this year, in the scenario he's given, with a new coaching staff and all the rest, I am putting Drew Brees in my top 5 and not Tom Brady. Not only because of Brady, but also because of that entire team. And I would put Rodgers at number 1 ahead of Mahomes. And I get it. Mahomes is hot right now. I understand he's a reigning Super Bowl champ. I get all of these things. Rodgers right now leads the league in passer rating, which, if you know, is the best indicator in the National Football League of a quarterback's effectiveness. What's important in the playoffs? Effectiveness. He also leads the league, Aaron Rodgers does, in touchdown passes. Not Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers does. He has a league low 4 interceptions this season. Patrick Mahomes threw 3 interceptions in the last game. He's definitely vulnerable.
I'm not as mad at you, and I think that's an interesting conversation.
Hold on. And Aaron Rodgers is 12 years older than Patrick Mahomes and has the same number of rings on his hand. You don't think he's seen more defenses and seen more in the postseason than Mahomes have? I'm just saying this year, who do I trust more? That would be Aaron Rodgers. And then if you want to say what's around him, do you know that Robert Tonyan leads all tight ends with 10 touchdown catches? Do you know that?
Shay, I'm not going to argue unless, can I jump in here? I mean, the rope's going really fast as we're jumping here.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to try and step in for a quick second. I don't have much of an issue with you, Mahomes and Rodgers back and forth, because you can't go wrong with either. The only separation for me is if Mahomes and his weapons. He does have more weapons. And yeah, they don't have much of a run game there in Kansas City. I get it. They won the Super Bowl last year with the 24th ranked rushing attack. They don't need it. That's how good Patrick Mahomes is. You can make the same case for Aaron Rodgers. That's why I don't have issue with number 1 and 2. Give me either one and say, go out there and win for me, and I got high faith in it. And those are the only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, where you say, give them the football game on the line. I go, I just want to sit back with the popcorn and watch because they're going to deliver. So no issue there. At 3, I love that we're in unison on this one. I love that we both agree that Josh Allen in the right now makes us feel like he can do anything. He disappeared, not disappeared. He fell off the MVP wagon a little bit for a 2-game stretch there. He's all the way back right now. He's a dual threat guy. He is a locomotive when he tucks that thing and runs. He's throwing with accuracy, which is something he was not doing last year. Confidence soaring through the roof. Him and Sean McDermott are on the same page. It is fun to watch. Enter Stephon Diggs to the chat. How much has he helped there in Buffalo with all of it? Immensely. So I like that at 3. Who'd you have it 4 again?
Drew Brees, who has beat Tom Brady twice
so
this year.
You're telling me, after what you watch from Drew Brees coming back with however many ribs he has healthy left now, and watching how he throws the football, questions with his arm, questions with his ability, best football clearly behind him. You saw what Tom Brady, I don't care if it was against a 4-win Falcons defense. You saw what Tom Brady did this past weekend. You saw what Drew Brees did this past weekend.
Yep.
And you picked who?
I picked Drew Brees.
So you know what? Some of your friends are right. Maybe you do pick the wrong man sometimes in your life. I don't know, but what I do know is this. If you put Tom Brady next to Drew Brees and have the audacity to pick Drew Brees, I too question your decision
Jordan,
making.
I have seen head-to-heads. I mean, I don't understand what you're even getting at. Does Drew Brees look 100% healthy after the Chiefs game?
Please make this a poll. She's not going to listen to me. Let the public get after her on Twitter.
No, he doesn't. But do I think he's going to be healthier in the weeks to come? Of course he is. His ribs will heal. His lungs are going to heal. He clearly can play right now. He's going to get better
when
as the season progresses.
He was healthy, Drew Brees didn't have it. The arm is not what it used to be.
Okay, wasn't this not only about the quarterback, but the weapons around him? Who do we trust more in the playoffs?
True.
Do you trust Sean Payton more or Bruce Arians at this point? This goes with the quarterback.
This is a good question. The GOAT is still enough to overcome Bruce Arians. Drew Brees is not good enough to overcome his body failing him. And Michael Thomas, we don't know what Michael Thomas could be for this team when he's on the roster, whatever. They didn't look good without him. That's without question. The defense props up Drew Brees a little bit more. But I still want to bring it back to the quarterback. Ultimately, it still has to have a lot of quarterback feel.
Fine.
And that's where Drew Brees just ain't there with Tom Brady. At number 5, who did you have at number 5?
Russ, same as you. Russell.
Okay, Russell Wilson.
Let him cook.
Are we disrespecting Russ a little bit here?
No, I'm absolutely not. They won by 5 points against the Washington football team who threw the ball way too many times with Dwayne Haskins under center. No.
Well, now you're getting away from that.
I am only picking Russell Wilson because he's Russell Wilson. That's it. Unlike the rest of these quarterbacks, I am not factoring in who he has around him, his defense, the play calling from his head coach, etc. I am only putting Russell Wilson in this top 5 list because of who he is and who Russell Wilson is and how I have seen him take over games, take over series, and actually win them by himself. That's the only reason he's in this top 5.
Only generated 20 points, but against the Washington defense that is one of the best in the NFL. I mean, that's why they've gotten to the point where right now they've got a great shot to win this NFC East. It's been only because of the defense. Yeah. Russell Wilson came out soaring out of the gates. He's come back down to reality a little bit, but yet still Russell Wilson in postseason football, with what that organization does offensively. But again, another defense that is a failing defense, but in the last few games has shown to be a team that can be competent defensively and get back to never at this point the Seahawks defense of old with the Legion of Boom, but decent enough to allow Russell to go out there and win games. And I do think when it hits postseason time, Russell Wilson can still deliver. Who, if you could throw one more on a list, would you like?
I would throw Brady. I have Brady at 6. I mean, I think that's obvious. I'd throw Brady in the top 5, but I just can't put him in there yet. We do have some calls on this, though. Let's go to Cincinnati first. I'm just trying to make you happy. We'll go to Mike in Cincinnati. He says Tom Brady should be on the list. Go ahead. What do you got, Mike?
Yeah, Brady's got to be on the list, man. He's a left-handed quarterback because his whole right hand is full up the Super Bowl ring. He's got more experience than all five of them guys.
Let him know. Let them know, Mike.
Breeze over Brady just ain't going to work for me. I'm from the Boston area. You can't let it happen.
Yeah, you can't, Shay. It's just you can't defend putting Drew Brees ahead of Tom Brady. You just can't.
I did. I already did.
If you guys can find a caller out there, if you can find a caller out there that's going to call in and say that Drew Brees is better than Tom Brady in this moment.
Come on. It's not only about being better. Who do you trust more in the playoffs? This year, I trust Drew Brees more in the playoffs than Tom Brady.
This has thrown me completely because the number one thing in your life is trust. And I don't know what the meaning of trust now is to you if you're going Drew Brees over Tom Brady at this point.
It's the company you keep, Jordan. You know you've got some friends you go out with sometimes, and I'm like, I'm not trusting them so much tonight. I don't know about this crew.
Name names. Who are you talking about?
And then there's other guys where I'm like, stay for a week. I could care less. In this situation, I trust Drew Brees because of the company he keeps around him. Tom Brady this year, I'm not so sure.
Tom Brady just came off an incredible second half.
He did, but
against the Falcons, I understand. Against the
Falcons, and I'm questioning his head coach's decision. His defense has been suspect. Like, come on, I don't trust the guys around him.
I'm just waiting for you to put Mitchell Trubisky on the list now.
Okay, I'm not.